Now, this is a complicated question.
Okay.
Please give me time now to make this clear. What I had expressed to the president and what I strongly believed was we couldn't win the war militarily. And my doubts on that began very early. And you'll see in the book references. Every one of these statements is footnoted, by the way, and documented. In December 1965, I said to the president, I thought there was only a 1 in 3 chance of winning the war militarily. I said, well, at best 1 in 2. He said, the dialogue is right there. He said, do you mean to say we can't win it militarily? I said, Mr. President, my judgment will not be shared by the Secretary of State, by the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, by many others, but that's my judgment. As the years went by, I became increasingly of that belief. But, and this is the important point, I believe the threat was just as great as the others did.
In 1968.
In 1968. You're absolutely right.
So
now,
anybody that wanted Bob McNamara to say this war was wrong in 1968, it was impossible for Bob McNamara to say it because he didn't believe it.
I didn't believe...
It was wrong war in 68.
Let me not use quite those words. Let me say I didn't believe that there was no threat. I believe that, in a sense, Eisenhower's statement in 1954 of the dominoes and in 1961 to President Kennedy and me, that if we lost Laos and Vietnam, we'd lose all of Southeast Asia. If we lost all of Southeast Asia, we're very likely to lose all of Asia, including India. If we did that, that the power of the communists against Western Europe and against this nation would increase. Now, that was what appeared to be at risk if we lost Vietnam.
That's the ideology that shaped all of you. Johnson,
Absolutely.
Kennedy, Rusk, and everybody.
Right.
We understand that.
No, but what I think by your question, those who ask that question don't understand is, it's one thing to say McNamara believed and told the president that the war was not winnable militarily. It's another thing to say that he believed, therefore, we should just say to hell with it and go. Now I believe we should have said that then. But at that time, I was still obsessed with this Soviet threat. Give me a second to tell why. Because I always ask questioners on the telephone or TV, how old are you? And most of them are 40, 45. I say, well, I understand your position. You don't understand ours. Let me start by saying we were wrong. But what had we done? Rusk had been in World War II. Kennedy had been in World War II. I had been there 3, 4, 5 years of fighting the Germans and the Japanese when Churchill said, if we started earlier, we wouldn't have lost the millions that we lost because we delayed. And what Rusk said, and I quote a memo in there from him. I never saw the memo until I began to write this text. Rusk said to the president in July of '65, Mr. President, if we don't stop them there, if we don't prevent loss of Vietnam, there'll be a catastrophic war. He meant World War III. I think that was totally wrong today. Then I was concerned. Now, why was I concerned? I'm sorry it takes so much time, but this is very important.
Time we've got.
I'd gone through World War II, 3 or 4 years. I had seen, after World War II, after we won the war, I had seen the Soviets take over Poland, Hungary, Czechoslovakia. I'd seen them try to subvert the established governments of France and Italy. When I came to the Pentagon, I was there 7 years. In August of '61, the Soviets tried to take Berlin, and when I called Larry Norstadt, the Supreme Allied Commander in Europe, SACEUR, to my office to ask him how this was going to evolve, he said, well, we may have to use nuclear weapons. Think of it. In October '62, the Soviets put nuclear-equipped missiles in Cuba. We came damn close to nuclear war, much closer than our public today understands. In June of '67, the Egyptians said we're going to destroy Israel, and they thought they'd have the support of Syria, the Soviet Union. The Israelis preempted and knocked the hell out of them. After which, Kosygin used the hotline for the first time, sent a cable to our president saying, if you want war, you'll get war. Now, I'm simply trying to create the atmosphere that, in a sense, we were captives of. We misjudged the Soviet and communist threat in Asia. No question about that.